let's do it. Okay, we're getting in. Going back in time, it's mobility 75. Take your shoes off if you've got them on, okay? We're starting lower body and we're going as low as we possibly can, so get those scabby feet out, okay? You're at home, I'm not going to insult you with my scabby feet, so I'm going to keep my socks on. If you're going to take your socks off when you're on live, keep them away from the lens, please, because I've just had my breakfast. Right, what we're going to do this morning, we're going to stand up. We're going to simply stand on this ball. Now, while you're doing that, I'm going to show you exactly where we're going to go. Newcomers, okay, this is for you. You've got the heel, okay, and then you've got the ball of the foot, and then in between the ball of the foot, you've got that soft, fleshy fascia area, okay? That's what we're trying to smash here. Simple as that, okay? When you stand on the ball, you're going to feel exactly where we want to be on. Don't want to be on the bone, don't want to be on the bone, we want to be on this nice soft tissue here, okay? So we're going to start at the heel, and all I want you to do is work side to side, side to side, side to side, all the way up to the ball of the foot, okay? The way we do anything normally. So I'm going to get on it, simple as stand on the ball, okay? I'm going to find my heel, and I'm going to start just in front of my heel, where that fascia begins, or where it's exposed, should I say, okay? And I'm going to push down hard into it. Now, rather than do this, okay, because that feels nice, you can try it, it feels nice, it's a nice wee relaxing thing to do, okay? I want you to start like we'd normally do, push down hard, side to side, okay? And yep, that's going to be painful if you've never done it before, or it's going to be painful if you're using and abusing these feet, which most of us are, but I want you to look for those areas of high pain, okay? Now, we're going to take the same principle from the last upper body session we've done. You know how usually we just find an area of high pain and spend 2 minutes focusing on that? Well, today I want you to try and smash high quality as much of the area as you can. Okay, so I'm pushing down hard, I'm going side to side, moving a couple of millimeters up, and then doing the same again, okay? If you find any really problem areas, okay, so areas of really high pain that you go, oh, I want you to stop and spend a bit of time on them, scrubbing them, as you can see I'm doing now. Now we have to push down hard. The simplest way to think about this is, I want you to, well, here we go with this word again. Imagine your foot is enveloping the ball, okay? So you're trying to make that ball sink into the foot and for the foot to wrap around it, okay? So that's going to feel pretty nasty for a lot of people. When you find an area of high pain, get stuck into it. Now the reason we're doing it standing up is simply so that we can get more weight into it. So you can do this sat down, but you'll not get the same amount of weight into it. But that doesn't mean to say it's not productive. So if you're sat at work, at a desk, or something the likes, watching the TV at night, you can do this sat down and still get a good productive bit of time on your feet, okay? Now, side to side, up and down, scrub. Find an area of high pain, push down hard into it, and smash the hell out of it, okay? It's not rocket science by now. We know exactly what we're trying to do. Those areas of high pain shouldn't be there, and we're trying to flush them out by pushing hard into it and going against the grain of the muscle tissue, remember? So we're going side to side, not just up and down. That feels nice, but we're working against the grain, okay? Working the full way. You'll probably find little pockets of pain unexpectedly in random areas. How wide do you go? The full width of your foot, everyone, okay? The full width of your foot. And what we're trying to do is, like I said, rather than just only focusing on the pain, as you're rolling over this ball, like I said to you, I like this word, imagine the foot, you're trying to envelop it and bend it around, okay? Because we're trying to restore some movement back into the feet themselves. We forget about the feet. I'm bending down here so you can see me on the camera. I've got the camera low today. Okay, we should have that mobility in our feet. Our feet should be able to move, our toes should all be able to move independently. But you know, we kind of forget the feet and we focus too much on the big muscle groups. These are the things, the points of contact in the ground. And as you know, if you're out hill walking, if you're out running, and you start to get pain in your feet, blisters, etc., okay, you suddenly start to slow down. Doesn't matter how good you're feeling up top, okay, if those feet aren't in check, that could be the make or break of your day. Right, we're going to spend another minute on here. We're spending a good bit of time. So let's say you've done the full area, you've got to the ball of the foot. Now this is the time where I really want you to find those areas of high pain and just go for it. Don't hold back. Don't try and just cruise around over the ball. Get into it. It feels like hell, okay, but that's the whole point. We're trying to get rid of it. So little circles up and down, pushing as much weight onto that ball as you can bear, but trying to be relaxed. Okay, so a lot of people suffer from plantar fasciitis, and it's definitely one of those things you don't want, and it's definitely one of those things that can be prevented, okay? And this is one of the main ways, this is a good way to prevent it. And all plantar fasciitis refers to is pain on the underside of the foot. So it's a loose term, okay? It can be caused by many things. So this is certainly not a be-all and end-all, But if you're finding a hell of a lot of pain at the bottom of your foot right now, chances are you need to spend more time doing this. And for me, this is an easy one. This is one, and I'm not talking nonsense, this is one I'll do on a daily basis multiple times a day because it's easy. Okay, you can stand up, you can sit down, you can do it when you're sat at the desk, sat at the sofa, whatever. Okay, right, I want you to simply shake that foot out, walk around, let the blood flow. Hopefully that feels nice, okay? And without further ado, change sides, okay? So like I've said, I apologise for the racket, but it's really windy and it's shattering that door. Our feet should be nice and mobile, okay? We should be able to grab a hold of our toes here at the ball of the foot, twist it side to side and have plenty of movement there. We should be able to grab all the individual toes, pull them apart, obviously I've got socks on, pull them all apart, move them all about without anything sticking, okay? And you should feel that movement around your feet. The skin should feel like it's gliding. You put two fingers on any part of your foot, and this sounds daft, okay, but if you put it on any part of your foot in just loosely little circles, that skin should move freely and independently, okay? If it isn't, and it's tacked down, or you're feeling a lot of areas of high pain in and around the feet, you need to get a bit more of this done, and it's an easy one, okay? Runners, especially runners, you are hammering these feet on a daily basis. You cram these feet into horrible restrictive footwear, we all do it. And that's why I would always personally say, if you're walking around the house, walk around barefoot, okay? Socks on, if you like. Stay away from flip-flops. Flip-flops are the worst possible thing for mobility in your feet and they cause all sorts of problems, okay? You're much better going barefoot as often as you can. Let these feet expand and let them relax a bit, okay? Don't walk around all day with restricted footwear on if you don't need to, of course. Maybe it's not productive and your feet are stinking and your other work colleagues don't need to smell your stinking feet, but you get the point. Change sides, let's go for it, okay? So I'm on to the next side. I'm starting just in front of the heel and I'm pushing down, okay? I'm pushing down hard and then all I'm doing is just going side to side. Feel it, okay? Get to know your feet. This is all we're doing. Find those areas of high pain, spend a bit of time scrubbing them, but don't take all day. Try for the next minute and a half to get that full length done with quality smashing though, okay? Quality smashing and scrubbing, get that full surface area done, and then we'll spend the last minute focusing on those areas of high pain, okay? So it's simple, this one, but very effective. And that's why I would always say to you, keep that ball everywhere you go. Keep it somewhere where it's in sight, okay? Don't just chuck it back in the cupboard after your mobility classes. Put it somewhere where you're going to remember, oh, you know what? I'm standing doing hee-haw, or I'm having a brain fart. I'll get that ball out and smash my feet while I think about life, okay? So there's always something we can be doing. And this is a good, easy one to do. I recommend you do it as much as you can, okay? We really need to look after these feet. And the sad thing is, and I've certainly been guilty of it in the past, people don't start addressing problems until there is a problem, okay? And a lot of it can easily be prevented. So there's no right or wrong here. Remember, if you look at what I'm doing now, I've got that ball jammed there, and I'm just, you know, I'm on an area of high pain, I'm pinning it, but I'm also trying to get that mobility in the foot by trying to wrap it around and let it explode. No, don't let it explode. Let it expand around the ball. Okay, so try that when you're going, rather than just push down, try and grip the ball with your feet at the same time. Try and restore some of that movement and mobility into the feet. Now, if you've been doing this a while and you've been following along, we did do a complete dedicated foot mobility overhaul class, okay? And that just goes to show there's a lot of things we can do with these feet, and we really should be paying particular attention to them. So look after your feet. They're going to get you from A to B. I can't say that enough. If you start getting problems with your feet, it ruins everything, okay? So get stuck into them now. And if you're feeling like there's areas of high pain, and if you're pushing your body hard every day, doing a lot of exercise on your feet, this should be part of your daily routine, okay? It really should be. Look after your feet, people. I know I keep saying it, but it's so important. You don't appreciate them until you've got problems with them. Right, we're going to go for 45 more seconds. I want you to go for it now, okay? Try and get that full area. Go to the areas of high pain. Smash the hell out of them now. Scrub the hell out of them. Make the most of them. This is a good drill to do before you exercise, before you run, when you get back a run, when you get back a walk, okay? Try and let these feet expand back out. Look after these feet. That's the lesson of today. Look after your feet. Good. Right, okay, we're done with them. So, done with the feet, okay. Now, we're not exactly done with the feet in the sense there's so much more we could do. Like I say, we should have, try it now. Lie down, grab your thumb and your first finger and hook it around just the start of the ball of the foot, okay? See when you feel that groove just before the ball of the foot, you should be able to grab a good firm grip of that, and I mean good firm grip. Twist it side to side, you should have movement in there, okay? If it's jammed up or if it's painful or if it feels like it's not moving, we need to be getting more time on the foot mobility. It's there. If you want it, I'll put it up, okay? It's already recorded. Side to side, you should be able to grab all your toes. Yep, it's not the most comfortable thing, but you should be able to pull all your toes back. You should be able to pull them all apart. Obviously, with socks on, you can't, but you get the drift. They should all be independently able to move. Injury aside, okay? Our feet are horrific looking things, okay? They get deformed, they get used, abused, they get all sorts of problems. That's why I hate feet, they're disgusting. But we need to look after them, okay? We should have that nice suppleness in the plantar fascia down the bottom, in at the ankle here, okay? We should see it all. You should be able to move that skin around. If it looks like it's tacked down, okay, you don't need me, although it's good to have me, I suppose, but you don't need me. Get in there, find the muscle tissue, twist it, break it up, okay? You know all the drills we need to do. You can apply them to any part of your body where there's muscle, etc. So get stuck into them. Feet's a big one, okay? Now I want you to get your foam roller. We're going to go straight up into the calves, okay? Now, rather than focus on the actual calf up further, the big muscle up here, okay, I want us to start at the heel. Now, I don't want you to put it on your Achilles tendon. If you're not sure what that is, start right at the bone, come up a little bit. It might feel a little sensitive, side to side until you start to feel that you're on that muscle tissue, okay? We do not want to be on that Achilles tendon and start smashing that. We just want to be just above it, okay? So I'm going to position that on the foam roller, and we're trying to get into a bit of ankle mobility itself here, okay? And this is where a lot of people are wound up tight, okay? And that's what we're going to break in. So if you are feeling this particularly painful, again, it's probably a problem area for you, and you probably find your squats are pretty poor. You want to get a bit more depth into your squat. Here's the incentive, okay? So I'm pushing down hard into it. You can't see that I'm doing that, but I want you to just imagine this bone is curving around the foam roller. That's going to jam me in there nice and tight. Muscle tissue is completely relaxed. And then all I'm going to do, work against the grain. I'm going to go side to side, okay? And you're going to find this one pretty uncomfortable, a lot of you, okay? So side to side, all the width, okay, until you hit that bone, okay? Because it's probably on the the widest parts that you'll feel a lot of pain and discomfort. So all I'm doing is just pushing it and smashing it into the foam roller. Doesn't sound pretty, it's not, but that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going side to side, and all I want you to do first and foremost, okay, is just keep doing that, okay? Then move half an inch up and keep doing that. If you find areas of high pain, good, okay, but I want you to keep moving past them. Get to know what we're working with this morning until you get, and this is where everybody's different genetically, but I would say halfway up your calf, okay? Halfway up your calf where you start to see that gastrocnemius kicking in, that bigger part of your calf, okay? The actual bit that you could grab a hold of. Again, that depends on person to person where that begins and ends, but halfway up your leg, okay, when you start to feel you're getting on that meatier bit, I want you to stop because we're not going there, okay? I want you to focus on the lower half of your lower leg, okay? So you start to feel that pain. Now I want you to work back down, work back down, work back down. It's horrific for me, I won't lie to you, this is nasty stuff. Until I get back to the start, okay? So that's taking me all of, what, 30, 45 seconds. So now I'm going to go for quality now. So I'm going side to side, pushing down, and as soon as I find an area of high pain, as in one that's making me go, oh, okay, I'm stopping. And I'm going through the process. I'm pushing down hard, trying to keep that relaxed state of the muscle. I'm not tensed up here, so don't do too much too soon. And then start your little scrubs. So again, if you're not sure, look at me, I'm doing my little scrubs. Up and down, side to side, roll the legs side to side, hit. Okay, it's not nice. Now, you're scrubbing, as in your little up and down and side to side. The size of those scrubs depend on the area of pain that you're working on, okay? So you might just find that that foam roller is just pierced into a little bit of pain. It's very isolated, very small. So if that's the case, your scrubbing is going to be nice and small, okay? Trying to work over that problem area. But it might be a large area of pain, so you might find that your scrubbing's bigger, side to side, up and down, okay? And for me, this is pretty damn horrendous. Right, so I'm trying to always get more weight on it. I'm always trying to scrub it. Smashing and flossing on this one, if you remember this technique, we're in a good place because we've got a joint, okay? So what we can do, we can start doing these circles of the feet. Now, remember, it's so easy to start doing that and then lift off the foam roller because you know it's going to be painful. That's where we have to try and stay focused. Push down on the area of high pain, the worst part, push down on it. Keep pushing down on it and just start rotating that foot slowly. You can do circles, you can do them clockwise, anti-clockwise, or you can simply lift the toes up and push them down. Now, you just have to be careful that, see, when you're doing that movement, that you don't start pushing too hard with the foot, because if you do, you'll feel your muscles start to tense up, okay? So go for it, everyone. Spending quality time, maybe definitely longer than 2 minutes this morning, okay? We're getting stuck into it, we're making the most of it. So I might look nice and chill, but trust me, far from it. I'm trying to keep a straight face. This is not nice at all. So I want you to try and focus the next 90 seconds on trying to get as much into as big an area as you possibly can for this bottom half of our calf, bottom half of our lower leg, should we say. If you want to go further up, if you're finding there's more pain further up and more problems further up, you go for it, okay? This is your mobility session. But most of us could do a bit of quality time down towards the ankle. Oh. So it's constantly evolving when you're doing this, okay? Because you'll find the more you relax, the more pressure you can put into this foam roller, the more you open up, if that makes sense. So I'm getting in even deeper now. It's even worse than when I started. So keep going for it, little scrubs, smash the hell out of it and lift and push those toes away and keep those rotations going. So you know the techniques. You know the techniques. I'm just talking to try and keep you right and try to stop your mind wandering, because it's so easy to be distracted when you're doing this stuff. But remember, this isn't about mindfulness, okay? This isn't the type of class for chilling out and switching off and, you know, recharging your brain. This is the type of class that afterwards you're like, oh my God, I'm glad I've done that, but I'm glad it's done, okay? And I can see on live there's some pain phases, okay? So that's okay. It's okay with that pain phase. But remember, try to stay relaxed. We don't want to spend the whole time like that. Now, I'm not able to today because this is horrific, but if you're finding that that's not too bad, okay, because I'm still seeing some very chilled looking faces, get that other leg and you can just gently place it on top, and that's going to put a tremendous amount more weight on, okay? You don't have to necessarily push down. You don't appreciate the weight of that leg because it's attached to your body all your life, but that leg just sitting on top adds a good considerable few kilograms on top of that other leg. So now we can really smash it, okay? So smash, 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 get it stuck in. Last 10 seconds, okay? Get that whole area in now. Push into the foam roller. And then change legs. Now, if you need to get up, if you need a drink, if you need a breather, you have one, okay? Got a lot to get through this morning, so I'm just going straight into the next one. Straight onto it, okay? Remember, I would rather you concerned yourself with the lower half of your calf, but if you're finding more pain up here than down there, get stuck into the top, okay? I want you to try and work on here because this is the area where a lot of people get a lot of tightness and they lose this mobility in the ankle, and as a result, their squat depth's terrible, okay? They start falling forwards, they start lifting the heels off the ground, okay? If that sounds like you need to get a good bit of mobility work done in your ankles. So it's a combination of more foam rolling, more mobility work, and the flexibility work, which is about to follow. Okay, so straight away, just above the Achilles where it's exposed, and I'm just going side to side, and I'm going to spend this first 30, 45 seconds just doing the whole length of that area, side to side, the full width, pushing into it, getting to know what I've got to deal with for these next few minutes. There's an area of high pain, there's another one, there's another one. Okay, well that's a tremendous amount of pain there, that's probably the worst, so remember to come back to that first. Okay, so once you get up, side to side, keep smashing it. Now this isn't just a case of breeze over it. I want you to push down hard. Try and get something out of this as well. Side to side, pushing down, okay, all the way until you get back to the start. You don't have to rush it, okay? And then when you get back to the start, that's when we go again, but this time we're going to pause on those areas of pain and discomfort. Now, for some people, it just might be a complete whole area of pain and discomfort. And that's why I always say focus on the areas of high pain, the ones that if you push down on make you nearly hit your head off the ceiling. Those are the areas that we really want to focus on. Okay, so we're going for that now. So just try different techniques. It's pretty simple. All you want to do is smash the hell out of this muscle tissue and try to keep the muscle tissue relaxed. So this first part is just me pinning that area of high pain, trying to find that state of relaxation in the muscle, which can take time, okay? I can feel it's tense because my foot is pointing up in one direction. It's not going, oh, it doesn't feel relaxed. I can feel it's tense, it's fighting it. My brain doesn't want me pushing down into it. Keep your scrubbing going, little scrubs on that area of high pain. And stay focused, everybody. Stay focused on the task at hand. Don't let your mind wander, and don't be guilty of just kind of sitting there half-arsely pushing it into it and not really getting anything from it, okay? That's not what we're after. We're trying to get some goodness back in here. And don't forget your techniques. Rotate that foot around. Good. So ankle mobility, lower leg mobility is hugely important, okay, when we're exercising. You see a lot of people with they're just seized up that bad, okay? They can't bend their knees effectively when they're squatting. Their knees are caving in, okay? I always say squatting because it's the one exercise that's obvious. We start to get all sorts of stress on areas of the body that shouldn't be getting them, especially the knees. And that's before we even start adding weights into the game, okay? The worst thing is when you see people starting to do weightlifting, heavy squats, etc., with poor ankle mobility. It's an accident waiting to happen, and it's an injury waiting to happen. But rather than focus on getting this stuff better and increasing their depth and range of movement, they just focus on putting more weight on, more weight on, more weight on, until one day, pop, snap, or something, okay? And then they moan that they're injured. They want everyone to feel sorry for them. They don't do anything about it. They go to physio, they go do their physio appointment, they don't do any rehab work. Okay, they sit about, and then when they start to be able to exercise again, they jump straight back in where they left off, okay? Straight back into it, smashing the same weights, the same poor mobility, okay? And then it happens again, and again, and again, okay? So obviously, if it's not working, you need to fix it. Okay, keep it going, we're nearly done. We are nearly done, so get smashing that area as best you can. Okay, go for it now. Remember your different techniques, point the toes, push the toes away, lift them up. Oh aye, it's good fun. And if you're able to, you can whack that leg on top. But if you whack that leg on top and it's too much, as in the pain's too high, you lose that relaxed state, and it defeats the purpose. Remember, you're trying to endure as much pain as you possibly can here, isolated to the area that we're working on. But you have to keep those muscles relaxed, okay? That's the end goal. The more pain you can suffer, better things are coming from this. And that only goes for this foam rolling, right? Okay, start thinking about relaxing there. Time to stretch these bad boys out. So we're going to stretch the ankles out now, okay? So we've smashed up all that muscle tissue, okay? Restored a bit of suppleness, a bit of slack into them. Now we're going to stretch them out, okay? So all I'm going to use is my bench. You don't need a bench, okay? You're better with a wall because it's not going to move, or it hopefully won't. Everybody, I encourage you here. I'll show you quickly what we're trying to do. We're trying to simply achieve that, okay? Now, people with tight ankles, you're going to struggle to lift the toes up. So what I encourage that you do is everybody just leans back, okay? Lean back, and you're trying to get the ball of the foot on the wall. You're trying to get the heel pushed in, and when you push with all your might in, that foot should not move, okay? You get people saying, I don't feel anything on this. You absolutely should feel it. Look at it, it's not rocket science. It's pretty simple what we're trying to do with the foot. The reason you're not feeling it is probably because your foot's starting to slide down the wall, okay? So we need to wedge it. Toes up as high as we can, okay? Now, before you get ahead of yourself, the first thing we need to do here is bend the knee. Okay, I want you to push the knee forward. So before you start walking into the wall and enhancing the stretch, we need to bend this knee. And the reason for that is, we're going to shift the weight down further into the ankle as opposed to higher up in the calf. So lock the leg out for the calves, bend the knee to get further down into the ankle, which is where we're targeting. So bend the knee. Once you've bent that knee, I want you to try and push the knee towards the wall until you feel a stretch down towards your ankles. Yep, we've got that, okay, good. So when you've got that, I want you to push into the wall, make sure that your foot's not going to slide. If it is, fix it, sort it out. If it's not, now you can start shifting closer, but make sure when you shift closer, you don't lose that bend in the knee and you don't ease off. So when I shift closer, I should be feeling like I'm enhancing the stretch down at the ankle, okay? It's as simple as that. Now, when you look at your knee, this is very important, and it's important you listen to me here. When you look down at your knee should be tracking in line with your toes, okay? What we don't want, and what I mean by that is you should not see your knee swaying off inwards, okay, away from the side of your big toe, and well, to be fair, most people probably won't anyway, but we don't really want to be putting it tremendously out to the side away from our body, okay? So we don't want that knee collapsing inwards. We want to be pushing it forwards towards our toes, okay? That's important so we're not putting that stress on the knee, but also we're trying to mobilise ourselves the way our body's meant to be going. So I'm pushing hard now, okay? I'm not easing in and out. This is a solid static stretch for 2 minutes, and all I'm doing here is having a little argument with my brain to tell it that it's okay to go this far, while my brain's saying, whoa, 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 don't know about this, okay? Maybe we'll just tense this one up a little bit, okay? So no, I'm gonna go a wee bit further. So this is important. You need to focus on this. Make sure that from the start of the 2 minutes to the end of the 2 minutes, you've not eased in and out, and you're trying to take it further and further and further. We don't want pain. Discomfort, yes, okay, we're stretching out, it doesn't feel nice, we're trying to take it further than it wants to, but we should absolutely have zero pain, okay? Don't want pain when we're stretching. So I'm really going for it now, okay? Last 20 seconds, push that knee forwards, okay? Try to shift as much weight onto it as you can, push into the wall, keep that relaxed state. Good, everybody. 10 more seconds, this should be your max stretch now, the furthest point you've taken it. Good, and I want you to simply relax slowly, slowly take the weight on. You can see me hobbling, I'm just exaggerating, but walk around, okay? That's not going to feel too pleasant, okay? The reason for that is we've restricted the blood flow, so shake the blood, little circles, walk around if you need to, and don't stretch the other side until you feel it's a bit comfortable again, right? I'm just moving this bench so you can see me from a different angle. Okay, I'm changing feet. So remember, up against the wall, I'm trying to lean back, okay? Lean back so I can get these toes high up in the wall and I'm planted, okay? Now, if you're particularly tight, you're going to struggle straight away to bend that knee, okay? You're going to be that tight that you can't even bend the knee, okay? So what I would say to you is, see the knee, if you just rock it gently, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, until it starts to ease into a stretch a little bit, okay? So we don't want to do that for the whole 2 minutes, okay? But this side is feeling a lot tighter than the other side, for me. So, focus on the breathing, push the knee forward, and then all I want to do is start enhancing the stretch by shifting my weight forwards, shifting my body towards the wall, okay? So I want as much of that foot up the wall. Now, the reason people don't feel it is either, like I say, you've got a poor point of contact, as in the foot's not anchored into the wall, and when you push it starts to slide, or you've not got the ball of the foot high enough up the wall, in which case all you're really getting is a toe stretch, okay? So that's multiple reasons why you're not feeling it. Or they're just jammed up that tight that you can't even bend the knee and get a stretch on there in the first place, in which I would say just occasionally give it that wee rock of the knee to try and encourage it gently. So for this side for me is a lot tighter. Okay, so I don't feel the best stretch to start with. It usually takes about the first minute for that to relax enough to start feeling a good stretching at the ankles. But once I've got that stretch, it's done all for feel. Okay, all I'm trying to do is enhance it. Push the knee forward more. Shift the weight forward more, but only if it's enhancing the stretch. Don't lose that pushing the knee forward. Great work. Okay, so simple. This is simple. We're spending a decent bit of time on the feet and the lower part of the leg today because it's so important, okay? It's so important, but it gets forgotten about, disregarded. Ankle mobility is such a big deal when it comes to exercise and movement. How do you know you've got poor ankle mobility, okay? If you're doing your bodyweight squats, okay, we're doing our bodyweight squats, like our prisoner squats, for example, when we're doing our circuits. If you get a couple of books, okay, you know, decent thickness, a few inches thick, and put them underneath your heels only. If you repeat those body weight squats and you find all of a sudden you're hitting depth you've never hit before, you need to improve your ankle mobility, okay? All those books are doing is giving you a wee bit of a head start with your ankle mobility, taking a lot of the range out of the equation. So suddenly you find when you raise someone's heel up, they can squat a lot deeper. You might feel a slight improvement, okay, which is fine. But if you feel a considerable improvement, as in you're like, whoa, never squatted this low before, then you need to do more of this stuff. It's as simple as that, okay? And I don't know what more incentive you need. If you know you could be so much better than you are now by simply doing some stretches and mobility work, okay, I'd take that any day of the week. Walk around, okay, let that blood flow back in. Good. Let's stretch out the front of these shins now. Another nasty one before we move on to the bigger muscle groups. So we're spending, even though it's lower body, you know by now, you're going to need a decent mat. So we do lower body. We can't possibly do the full lower body in depth for an hour, okay? So it's very much lower body focus, but we're still going to be getting up into these big muscle groups. Now, all I want you to do is sit on your knees, keep your knees roughly shoulder width apart. Well, more specifically, slightly wider than your backside, okay? We want to keep room for your backside, your butt, to get in between the feet. I'm showing you front on here first, okay? So you can see the position of my knees. So all we're doing here is getting into this position. Pay particular attention now, okay? See the feet, okay? The feet themselves. We want the top of the foot flush to the ground because the idea is it's this getting stretched and pushed that brings the stretch in the front of the shin here, okay? So don't do this stretch sitting up like that, okay? You have to set up perfectly first. So get those toes pointed and just be careful. You may get cramp in your toes, okay? Especially if you've got bad circulation. You may get cramp in your toes. So all I want you to do is simply just test and adjust your position. If it doesn't feel right, don't commit to it. Beginners, you're not going to get very far into this before you think, oh my word, this is horrific. Now this is the one where you must keep things relaxed. So I'm focusing on my breathing and I'm just slowly, I could easily just go boom, ah, okay, and that's not relaxed at all. So that's why I'm just slowly introducing weight, more and more weight, pushing down, okay, so see that gap? Okay, the gap at the foot here, the bottom of the shin, that's the gap I'm trying to close down. I'm trying to push weight onto that. So if you've got injury with your knees, just be careful. Okay, we don't want pain, we don't want to make anything worse, but this is where you manage that yourself. And all I'm doing, I'm just sitting here trying to slowly take the weight off my arms more and get more of it into my legs. Focusing on my breathing, I'm relaxing, I'm feeling the area slowly begin to relax more and more, getting more weight on it. As that happens, it gets more uncomfortable, okay, because I'm getting more weight on the stretch. This is done off of feel as well. So you might find that if you just come back a wee bit, you can get more weight on. But what I don't want you to do is come right back, okay, and then start pushing up too much to the point where we're getting the quads in. We don't want to do that yet, okay? I want you to play around with this. You're trying to get the best stretch. You're trying to get feeling like you're getting as much weight down on here, and the stretch up the front of your shins is feeling the best possible stretch it can be. So play around with your position. Focus on your breathing. And this is another one of these nasty ones that if you don't do very often will be very nasty, okay? And this is what I would call a runner's stretch. If you do run, you want to do this stretch. You want to do this stretch very regular, okay? We forget about that muscle because again, a lot of us genetically, the muscle that we're stretching now, you can't see it. Some people you can. You get some weird people. Well, not weird. You're not weird. Don't say that. Okay, how dare I? You get a big chunky bit in front. Okay, people can see this muscle, but for the vast majority of us, it kind of runs just alongside and inside the shin bone itself. So we don't really know it's there until we start prodding around in there. Now you can absolutely foam roll this muscle. Okay, you can feel what we're stretching. I'm just trying to take your mind off it. Okay, you can poke your finger in there. You feel that there. You feel that muscle tissue running that we're stretching. You can absolutely get the little ball in there and start going for it. Not in this position. Okay, that's where you have to kind of get yourself into a weird position on the ground. Now this is a great one for prevention of shin splints. Okay, if this thing gets jammed up tight, again your ankle mobility is going to be poor, very poor. So we've spent all this time dealing with the muscles at the back end of the lower body. Now we're dealing with the front. And we've held it And now I want you to just simply start slowly coming out of this. Now I say slowly because I don't want you keeling over to the side or something and putting a stupid amount of stress on your knee. So come back up equally, okay? Just start leaning forwards, out of the stretch, okay? And then when you come out of this, it's going to feel probably pretty damn uncomfortable. So I want you to stand up, walk around, okay? We're going to get a wee bit of time on the quads. Now I'm giving you 2 minutes on each quad, okay? Each quadricep. Front of the legs, front of the thighs, that's what we're going for. From knee up to the hip, that's the area that we're working on. You've got 2 minutes to get some goodness into that, okay? You know what you're doing, so let's get it done. I'm on the foam roller. I'm going to start at the crease of my hips, okay? If you want to go into the hip flexor, okay, which is bang on the crease of the hip, you go on that, okay? This is where it's down to you. I'm giving you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to make the most of getting your quad mobility done. So I don't have time to fart about. So what I'm going to do is just start what I've done with the lower leg, go side to side, okay? Start working down the quad, side to side. If I find an area of very high pain, which I am going to, I know I am, boom, there we are, there's an area of high pain. So now I'm going to spend a bit of time on that, okay? So I want you to try and feed goodness in to as much of the quad as possible using the techniques you already know. Now be careful with the lower back that you don't end up putting yourself in this kind of position where you end up putting strain on your lower back, so be careful. It's not going to be comfortable depending on what position you're in for your arms because you're going to be supporting a bit of your body weight. So don't try to make it or expect it to be completely comfortable. As long as the quads are relaxed. And to smash and floss for this one, simple. We're at the joint of the knee so you can start bending and stretching the knee. Simple, okay? So use all these techniques, please. Don't focus on the areas that feel nice. Focus on the areas that feel absolutely horrific. We're all different. Okay, that's why I'm giving you 2 minutes now to get a bit of quad time in. Now, you'll have a good relationship with the quads and foam rolling. It's one of those areas that's just nasty, quite often or not all the time. But take my word from it, if you're struggling to put weight onto this foam roller, the more you do it, the better it will get. Okay, so beginners, you'll find that you're wincing just by touching the foam roller on your leg. Okay, but as we get a bit better and we get a bit more supple, we can deal with it a bit more. Less pain, more improvement. So really go for it. Find the areas that feel like they need the most work. Remember the techniques. Scrub the hell out of it, smash the hell out of it, bend the leg, straighten the leg. You can throw in a bit of contract and relax as well. Try to contract the muscle, relax it, contract, relax, off and on. See if that helps you get in deeper. And for other people, remember, you can get right in. If you find a lot of pain in at that knee, on the inner part of your knee, okay, where the quads are, especially you runners again, if you want to get stuck into that area, you go for it. You can do it with foam roller, you can do it with the ball. Okay, I'm giving you the choice here. You know your problem areas, so make the most of them. Let's get better. 45 more seconds. Yes, it's a very loose 2 minutes. Okay, I don't have a clock. Oh, nastiness. Let's get stuck into it. So I'm always saying to you, you know, 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 2 minutes each side is all it takes during your day. This is a classic example. Okay, let's say I've got a spare 4 minutes. I'm going to jump on the floor and quickly do my quads, okay? Find an area of pain and try and improve it. Doesn't need to always be a 60-minute, 45-minute mobility class, okay? You know your problem areas. It might be the feet. Do the same. 2 minutes each foot and you're going to get a big improvement here, okay? So make the most of it. Last 20 seconds, so what I would encourage you to do quickly is just scrub the entire area, okay? Side to side, all the way up, all the way down, just to finish off, okay? Try and get a bit of goodness in. Fresh blood into the full muscle group, all the way down to the knee, and then jump off. Simple as that, okay? If you need to walk up, stand up, move around, by all means do so. Straight into it, everybody. Next side, we're going for it, making the most of our time here this morning. Straight into the next quad, next leg. Got to start off getting to know what I'm dealing with. Side to side, move down a bit, side to side, move down a bit. Just going to work that entire quad to begin with. Find what feels like a real sensitive and painful area, and then go back and get stuck into that, okay? So when you're doing this side to side, you need to try and stay relaxed, okay? Don't be tensed on the foam roller. Try to grind against the grain of the muscle tissue. Find that area of high pain, and then have a bit of fun for the next 2 minutes. So you do have to play around with your body position depending on which angle you're trying to get in at. Because what you don't want to be doing is being all tensed up on the muscle group that we're trying to target, the quads here. So we want to keep those quads nice and relaxed. Good, last minute, let's get stuck in. Make the most of it, okay? Make the most. Last 20 seconds, go for the full length now. Okay, get a bit of goodness side to side. Stay relaxed, the full width of your quad. Keep moving down. Work against the grain of the muscle tissue. Keep relaxed. Push as much weight into the foam roller as you can bear until you get to that kneecap. Good. Good work, everyone. Start finishing up there. Now we're going to move on to the hamstrings. Okay, so stretch for the quads. I'm not going to waste our time. Not that it's a waste of time. Okay, your classic quad stretch. This one. Okay, we all know it. If you want to pause and do it now, if you're on recorded, crack on. If you want to do it at the end, or crack on, okay? But I don't want to waste time when we've got other muscle groups to attend to and a bit more productive things to be doing, okay? So that's how we stretch the quads. You know how to do it. Now we're going to get stuck into the hamstrings. So you need a chair, a coffee table, anything really, okay, that you can sit on. It needs to be hard, okay? It needs to be hard because the ball, we don't want it sinking in. That's why if it's a sofa, the ball's just going to sink in. You're not going to get any weight on it here, okay? So you can do it on the floor, but the problem is you need to keep the legs straight so we don't get the same level, the same quality, should we say, of work. So all I want you to do is simply put the ball underneath, use the hand to move the ball around rather than rolling about like a crazy person, okay? Find the bottom of the butt cheek, your glutes, okay? And you'll find it because, oh, you'll feel the bone, okay? Find the bottom of the glutes. It's the hamstrings we're dealing with here. So straight away, this is a big, powerful, dense, very dense muscle group. So you need to push down into it, okay? And that's why if you're too low and your knees too high, you'll find it's not quite effective, okay? So if that's like you, because this bench is probably a bit too low, it would be perfect if this leg was just hanging as if I was sat in a wall, okay? So what I want to do, if that's the case and you've got nothing else, just put the foot a bit further forward so you get more weight down into it, okay? So all I'm doing, I'm sat on the ball, found my hamstrings, side to side, okay? You might find pain straight away, okay? A lot of us, right below the butt cheek, right below the glutes, that's where we get a lot of pain and discomfort. Everybody's different, okay? Just think of the quads, but on the back of the leg, you've got the full length to work, the full width to work. So go for it, okay? Side to side. Now remember, it's a big, thick, dense muscle group, okay? It's powerful. So it can sometimes take a wee bit of time to get right in deep into it. So that's why you have to play around with your position, and that's why you need to be on a hard surface, Okay, so I want to lean forward a little bit, and that's going to lengthen out the hamstrings and expose them a bit more as well. So you might find by just leaning forward and lengthening them out, you're getting in a wee bit more. Okay, as simple as that. Find that area of high pain, just get stuck in. We don't have time for niceties this morning. We're getting into it. Okay, straight into the areas of pain. Smash the hell out of it. It doesn't feel nice, but it kind of does, doesn't it? Kind of feels like we're doing some good, maybe. Okay, and just remember, like I say every time we do that, that sciatic nerve is exposed in here. Okay, so just watch, especially when your legs straighter, especially when you're leaning forwards. If it just doesn't feel right, you start to feel tingling, pins and needles, okay? Or your toes start doing dancing. Just move off it. Okay, so don't be scared, but just be cautious. So get stuck in, pin it, smash it, okay? To smash and floss this one, again, we've got a joint here, but it depends. I can't really get the best one in because my bench is a bit low. I can to some degree, okay? But that's what I would say. You're probably better just leaning backwards and forwards. While you're pinning that area of high pain, that's a good way to smash and floss if your surface is quite low, okay? If you've got your high surface, you're on a wall. If you're on a wall, what are you doing on a wall? Okay, be careful. If you're on a wall and your leg's just hanging freely, that's good because you're going to get a lot of weight down on it and you can probably get away with just lengthening, bending and stretching this knee. But for the same idea, to lengthen and shorten the hamstrings, we can just simply lean forward. Okay, 45 more seconds, so get stuck in. This isn't a hamstring focused class, this isn't quads and hamstrings. Okay, this is full lower body. So we're doing the 2 minutes on each side, malarkey. If you feel you need more time on this, okay, or you want to learn a bit more, just look for the previous ones that we've done already, like the quads and hamstrings, or I'm pretty sure we've even done just a hamstring one before. So get into it, okay? It would be great if we could just do everything at once, but we can't. Okay, we're focusing on quality. Spent a bit more time on the lower body today because I think that's been needing, it's been overdue. But we're still putting a bit of work into the big muscle groups up top still. So a big muscle group, we can't exactly get the whole thing done in 2 minutes. Change feet, change legs. But the beauty is, you're at home, you're in charge of your time. If you're on recorded, you can hit the pause button. If you're on live, you can go back and do a bit more time on this when we're finished. Or come back later, do it in your own time. 2 minutes each side, okay? So for me there, I didn't even get halfway down my hamstrings. I was just working on the upper half because for 2 minutes, I couldn't possibly put quality time into the full area. So that's why, move quickly, find those areas of high pain, find the problem areas and get stuck into them. To finish this today, keep going, we're not finished. We're going to finish off with a hamstring stretch, our classic hamstring stretch. So resistance band required, or if you don't have one, a towel. Okay, so you're going to need a towel for hooking around the feet, but if you've got a resistance band, that'll do fine. Don't go and rush away yet, okay, you'll get that time, because it's going to be the last one. So just so you can start mentally thinking, right, where's that bloody resistance band, or where's that towel? If you're thinking about a towel, ideally a bath towel, something that's fairly long. So you can start tuning your brain in, where the hell is it? So when time comes, you can go and grab it. So smash and floss, lean forwards, sit up, lean forwards, sit up. Keep scrubbing it, okay? You can feel how dense these muscles are, okay? We're getting deeper and deeper by the second. Not as easy as the quads. But again, everybody's different. Everybody's different. But these are big, powerful, very powerful, just like the glutes muscles. So it can be quite persuasive to try and get in there, okay? That's why we need to push down, we need to keep smashing, flossing, scrubbing, and you'll find over time that you can get in further and further and further, okay? Oh, I know, not nice, but good. Not nice, but good. So what we will not be doing today is the glutes, hip flexors, lower back area. Okay, that starts to fall into our whole glutes and groin thing, which we've done not long ago. So you know my process. Okay, we're always working around the full body. Sometimes we'll pair muscle groups up. Sometimes we'll just focus on a full area like we are today. Okay, other times we'll focus on one area only. So as always, people, this is not just for my benefit, it largely is, let's be honest, I'm only kidding. If there's things that you feel we haven't done for a while or things you would like to do, you gotta let me know, okay? So if you think, oh, what, we're doing this again, we've never done that, okay? If you don't moan about it, you don't have the right to complain. Right, okay, we're done. Get your band, get your towel, whatever you've got. Resistance band's better, towel will do just fine. So don't feel that if you don't have a resistance band that you're missing out here, okay? So go for it. Now, if you have got a resistance band, or if you've got a selection of resistance bands, pick a thick one. Big, powerful muscle group, okay? If you've got the wee red band, it's probably not going to be strong enough for the power and strength in these hamstrings, okay? But if that's all you got, it's absolutely fine. Because what you can do is double it up, okay? Don't put too much strain on the blooming band, okay? If your band's a red band and you've got it stretched out crazy amounts, just look at it. Does it look like it's going to snap? Maybe. Then that's good enough for me. Don't do it, okay? Have a look at your band as well. I keep saying it, this is not a health and safety notice, but have a look. Does it feel like it's drying out, okay? Is it starting to crack? Watch out, especially if it's a thin one, because you're putting stress on it. It's going to eventually snap, and in this position, you know, you're going to end up hitting your face, which we don't want. Don't store your resistance bands in the sunshine. It'll dry them out, it'll make them crack. Put them somewhere dark and dull. Right, okay, anyway, look after your kit. Ready for it? We're hooking it around the ball of the foot. You know where the ball of the foot is by now, not the toes, just below. We pull it, it feels secure. It doesn't feel like it's going to slide out, or it might slide out. If it might slide out, it probably will. Get a good grip of the resistance band. I'm going to lie back, and first of all, I'm just going to get comfortable with the upper body. I don't want to be like this. If you look at me now, you'll see a lot of people doing this. Don't want to be like that. Relax, okay? Now, before you get into the stretch, the other leg that's on the ground, get it completely straight and dead weight, okay? We don't want it sitting like this. So if you look at me now, no, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. So the leg that I'm stretching, the knee's locked out, always. I'm pulling the resistance band down, okay? And that's going to do multiple things. It's going to pull my toes towards me, so make sure your toes aren't fighting it, okay? We're pulling towards me, which is going to lengthen all this out all the more, so I'm getting a better stretch straight away. But also, it's going to let me get a damn good stretch while keeping relaxed, and it's going to drive all this down, okay? So it's driving that femur into the hip, resetting everything, and again, mobilizing our body the way it's meant to be. So, first of all, feels like a hell of a stretch running up the hamstrings. And all I want to do for my next 2 minutes is enhance that stretch. How do I do it? Move my foot further back, okay? Feel the stretch. Just be cautious. Don't be cautious. Cautious is the wrong word. Just be aware, okay, that you don't start to bend the knee, okay? Because I see that happen a lot on live, and people start to go real far, but they look like I am now. Does that leg look straight to you? If it does, get your eyes checked. Straighten the leg out. Okay, there we go. Boom. Keep it straight. Every time you move back, it should feel like you're enhancing that stretch. Focus on your breathing. Okay, here's a wee hack for you. Okay, see when you're pulling that resistance band down hard. See if you try to push in to the resistance band with a straight leg, you feel those hamstrings contract. Do that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then if you relax the hamstrings, look what happens. Oof. See how much further you can go there? That's a wee hack for you. That's called PNF stretching. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Some neurological boom nonsense, okay? I'm not into names. I just know it works, so I do it. Okay, so if you're about to do something that requires a decent amount of hamstring mobility, okay, it's a good way to hack and trick your brain. Okay, we contract, we push against it as hard as we can, we relax, and then we go further. Okay, you can do it with a partner. It's better if you do it with someone because they can really push your leg hard. You can really fight against it and then relax and your leg will go flying back. So try that now if you like. Push into the resistance band hard. You know, you're trying to pull the leg, but you're trying to fight it by pushing the whole leg away from you. Feel the hamstrings contract, 5 seconds, release, and then you'll find that you unlock a decent bit of mobility. It's just a quick hack, okay? It's not a long-term solution. It's brain trickery. That's all it is, it's brain trickery. So for 2 minutes, we're trying to take it as far as we can, okay? That contracting thing and relaxing, don't do it too much, okay? Don't do it for in 2 minutes. Just try it a few times, feel the difference it makes, unlock a bit of mobility, Don't spend the full 2 minutes doing that off and on, off and on, off and on. Okay, right, I want you to sit up. Oh, slowly, carefully. Okay, we don't rush these transitions. Hook the ball round the band. Hook the ball, the what? The head, the hoot. Hook the band round the ball of your foot. Okay, and change legs. So same again. Settle first of all into a good stretch. So don't try to enhance something that's no good. Lie back first, okay? This side's feeling a hell of a lot tighter. So you can see the angle of my legs. Not anywhere near 90 degrees yet. So all I'm going to do is just take it to the point where it's manageably uncomfortable. Get in a good position, decent bit of resistance on the band, and then start the process of just trying to take it further and further and further. Keep the knee locked out. Try to get a decent stretch. If you're going to try that contract relax, at least get a good stretch first. I'd say have a good minute. Have a good minute first at least before you try those contract relaxes. And all you're doing if you are doing the contract relax is just imagine your legs straight, which it is, so you don't need to imagine that, but someone's trying to push your foot towards you and you're trying to push your foot into them. That's all you're doing with the resistance band. So your legs shouldn't really move when you do the contraction because you're pulling the resistance band, okay? And then when you relax, you'll find it just unlocks a wee bit. So while we're doing this, we'll finish off with a summary. Lower body done the day, okay? Mobility 75. 75, we've gone back the way, okay? So lower body with a very big focus on lower body below the knee, okay, which we've done today. Still getting a bit of quads and hamstrings in, of course. But we're just picking up those areas that we've not spent so much time on recently. And as always, I'm open to suggestions, okay? So, you know, I've got my system with the mobility classes. We alternate between different areas. We always try and circle around all the areas before we repeat another. But if there's something in particular you're thinking, you know what, we've not done that in a while, or I'd like to do that, let your voice be heard. Good. And slowly come out of that. Oh. Right, you'll be pleased to know we are done, okay? Thank you very much, hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you found problem areas, like I say every time, if you find any areas that we were doing today that will particularly stand out awful, okay, then that's something that you just need to focus on. 2 minutes each side, that's all I ask, okay? That's all you should be. You shouldn't even need me to prompt you, okay? Hopefully you can see the benefits of doing this stuff, okay? Hopefully you're getting to know your body a bit better, all the little aches and pains and niggles, and hopefully you're starting to get rid of them. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and I'll see you on Mobility 77. I know, we're all over the place. What a mess.